What's up, everybody? It's your favorite counselor here, Miss Marita, back with another episode here on my channel, My Favorite Counselor, so stay tuned. So, welcome back to my channel, My Favorite Counselor, and today's episode is all about the college application process. So we're going to talk about some tips and some suggestions and some hints and some clues that'll help you to fill out that application efficiently. So if this episode is for you, you want to stay tuned right here because we're about to get started. All right, you guys, so the college application process is pretty straightforward. It is going to take a little bit of time, but the same information that you're going to need on the Common App is pretty much the same information that you're going to need on all your college applications. So your demographic information, your honors and accomplishments, your teacher and counselor recommendations, your essays, of course, sometimes your resumes, and just some unique things about you as it relates to who you are as a student and why you should be admitted into the university are common things that you're going to see across all college applications. All right, so let's break each one of those sections down so you can have a better idea of what to expect. Numero uno is demographic information. So what's demographic information? Is pretty much the basic information about yourself that helps you to be identified. So that includes your name, your address, your social security number, your phone number, your email. Those types of things are typically what you see in the demographic information part. So every college application is going to ask for that. All right, moving right along to number 2. You're also probably going to be asked for your educational background. So it's going to ask you to list some information about the school that you're currently attending and possibly previous schools if you've been attending more than one high school. It's also going to ask for some academic information. So it wants to know your current GPA, it wants to know your grade, it may want to know the teachers that you have or the classes that you're taking. So as long as you're able to provide that information, you're all good for your educational background. All right, number 3. You'll probably be asked to list the current activities that you're involved in at your school, in your community, or even in your church. So at this point, you want to just list if you're a basketball player, a football player, if you've been in the chess team, if you sang with the Glee Club. All of that information you want to include. You also may be asked to include different organizations that you are a part of. So maybe you're involved in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, or maybe there are some organizations in your local high school that you're taking part in. So it's probably going to ask for that as well. And if you're active within your community, they'll probably want to see that. And that will sum it up for your activities section. Moving right along. Number 4, you'll probably be asked to list your honors and your accolades. So this is the perfect time to brag on yourself. Did you get first place at the science fair this year? They're gonna want to know that. Did you get second place in a reading competition? I don't think there are reading competitions. Maybe a poet competition. But either way, if you've accomplished anything within your time in your high school, you want to make sure that you list it and try to be as accurate as possible. What I always like to tell my students, at least starting in 9th grade, is you just want to kind of keep a journal of all the things that you've done from time to time, including the amount of time that you've done or completed that particular task. That way, when it's time to get to the college application section, you are already ready with your nice little journal by you to tell people what you've done and what you've been involved in while in high school. So that's going to sum it up for number 4. Number 5. All right, so for number 5, this is the opportunity that you're going to get to see if teachers actually like you. No. This is the time where you're going to find those teachers for whom you've connected with the most to see if they'd be willing to provide you with a recommendation for your college application. Now, sometimes college applications can ask really anywhere from 1 to 3 teacher recommendations. And so that means hopefully you've been doing what you needed to do and forming great student-teacher relationships with your teachers. As much as you can, try to give the teacher or the person that you need for your recommendation a good amount of time to be able to provide you with one. A good rule of thumb is at least 2 weeks, but if you can move it up little bit beyond that, that would be great. A month out or even 2 months out from the time that you're going to need it to be able to meet your application deadline is really good. You want to make sure that you ask people who are familiar with your work ethic, familiar with your academics, or just really those teachers that you have found a great connection with that have helped you. Those are the teachers that you're going to want to make sure that you reach out to. Again, make sure that you give all of your teachers ample time to be able to write a good recommendation for you. A rule of thumb also, in addition to who you get to serve for your recommender, is to make sure you provide them with a resume. Wait, I thought a resume was only for adults. I mean, I'm not applying for a job, dude. Like, I need a resume? Listen, it's come to that time where now students actually do need to start working on their resume. Now, of course, it's not going to have the same experience as your mom, your dad, your uncle, or an older sibling, but it does at least have information about you that you think might also be beneficial for the person who's going to write you a recommendation. Sure, you and that teacher have a great connection, but they may not know everything that you've been involved in or everything that you've done. So a resume is a good tool to help them to just write that perfect letter for you. Again, you're going to want to make sure that it's someone who can speak to your character as a student in their class. And that's going to take the cake for number 5. Moving along to number 6. All right, guys, so now we've come to the part of the college application that will probably take the most time, and that is the essay. And the essay is your opportunity to really show colleges why they should accept you as a student to their program. Now, you want to make sure that you're not using those typical words. I have great work ethic. I'm a good leader. I'm smart. I'm punctual. Yeah, you probably want to stay away from those words and really talk about situations and scenarios that show them that you're a leader, that you're smart, that you're punctual, that you have great work ethic. Now, most colleges and universities have specific questions that they want you to answer. And so, of course, you want to make sure that in your essay, you address the things that the college or university is looking for. Everybody pretty much has the same GPA. Everybody pretty much has been in the same activities. Everybody pretty much has had the same type of classes. What's really going to make you stand out between them and you? Whatever that thing is, you want to make sure you include that in the essay. If they never meet you in person, the essay is what's going to tell them who you really are. And first impressions are always the most important impressions. So you want to be sure that you write a very meaningful and thoughtful essay. All right, so that is going to finish it up for number 6. So for all of my seniors who are right now in the process of applying to colleges, this is a perfect time to check your graduation status. Some of you may not make it. Just kidding. This is the perfect time to make sure that you're in order and in line to graduate on time. So you want to check the credits that you've already earned, and you want to make sure that you're on track to complete those credits that you need in order to satisfy your graduation requirements. Also, seniors, don't forget to fill out that FAFSA. It became available October 1st. That is going to be a crucial part to your overall college application. So if you have not filled out the FAFSA, please make sure you visit www.fafsa.gov to fill that out so you can have priority for receiving financial aid from the college and universities that you're applying to. All right, you guys, so that is it for this episode of The Counselor's Inn here on My Favorite Counselor. And remember that I post new videos here every Sunday, so make sure you check back every week for new content. As always, if you have any questions for me about this video or anything that I've discussed so far on this channel, make sure you email me at myfavoritecounselor@gmail.com. Again, that's my FAVOURITE counselor@gmail.com. Also, make sure you check the description box below because I've linked the Common App as well as the Common App for HBCUs down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share because I want to make sure I get the information to you that is most beneficial. And I hope you found today's video very beneficial. I look forward to seeing you again here on my YouTube channel, My Favorite Counselor. And you already know how we do it here. If you ain't talking about college, you ain't talking about college? You already know.